Miami Heat Nation, what is going on? So, in today's video, we are going to be starting a new series, and it's going to be pretty much 5 realistic point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, centers the Miami Heat can go after. It can be about trades or in free agency. So, today we are going to be starting off with point guards, and I came up with 5 good ones who I think could definitely help out this team. Now, before we do start today's video, if you guys enjoy Miami Heat content, we do upload every single day. And our goal this year is to upload for 365 days. And I couldn't do without you guys. So I just want to say I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Continue to keep liking, sharing, subscribing. And let's get back in today's video. So what you're staring at is the Miami Heat's roster. And one of the things that we lacked is having a point guard, right? Terry Rozier was awful and still awful. And then we have Davion Mitchell, which we're bringing back. But outside of that, there's no point guard on this team. So we're going to start off with, this is not going to be any like specific order or anything like that. These are just how I had it lined up. So we're going to start off with Taius Jones. So Taius Jones, last team that he did play for was the Phoenix Suns. And these are his numbers. So he averaged about 10 points a game. He played about 81 games this year. Right, he shot 44.8% from the field. He shot 41% from the three-point line. And also, he averaged about 5.3 assists and almost 1 steal a game. Taius Jones, in my opinion, is like one of the best backup point guards in the league. I don't know about a starting point guard, but as a backup, he's pretty good. We've seen what he did in Memphis. And, you know, I'm not against bringing him at all. Also, if you notice right here, I'm going to search it up real quick. As you notice right here, look. 10 points, 12 points, 10 points, and 5 assists, 7 assists, 5 assists. So, and this is kind of where, you know, the Wizards, he plays 66 games, Grizzlies, he played 80. You know, he's a very good, solid point guard in this league that, you know, can definitely be a backup to Davion Mitchell. Now, what I will say is, too, he's not going to be expensive at all, which is very good, because his last contract he signed was a 1-year, $3 million contract. We wanted to sign him, but then he went to the Phoenix Suns. So I don't really expect him to make any more than that. So this is a perfect signing I think the Miami Heat should go after. So number 1, Taius Jones. Now, another player that I think the Miami Heat should definitely go after will be Russell Westbrook. You guys know, if you didn't know, for all the new supporters and stuff like that, Russell Westbrook's my favorite point guard. I thought he had a very good postseason with the Denver Nuggets, especially with, you know, all the hate that this dude gets. Like, let's be realistic. But he averaged about 13 points a game, 13.3. He averaged about, as assists right here, he averaged about 5 assists and about 6. It's kind of hard to read this, but like 3.6 rebounds. That's defensive rebound. So yeah, about 5 rebounds. So coming off the bench, 13, 5, and 6 is not bad. But what caught my attention the most this year was that he was an improved defender. You know, he played very good defense in both rounds against very elite players, especially Shea. The corner shot from the 3-point line was amazing. You know, he was hitting it damn near 50% of the time against the Clippers. I will say he did struggle in the second round against OKC, but that's because he was injured. He had his hands was hurt. And now he's actually having surgery on them. So that's like no excuse or anything. But before he got injured, he was dominating OKC, driving to the rim. His shot wasn't specifically in this series, but attacking the rim, attacking, you know, the smaller guys, he was doing his thing. So that was a very good sign to see, especially, you know, with everything Russell Westbrook goes through. And with Russell Westbrook's contract, if you guys didn't know, he's on a player option right now. So it'd be interesting to see if he does return to the Denver Nuggets. As you see right here, once again, another player who doesn't make that much money, which is what the Miami Heat need to stay in, right? $3.4 million. I could see him opting out that. Maybe another 2 years deal with a player option again. So I think Russell Westbrook is a realistic option for sure. So Tyus Jones and Russell Westbrook. Another option that I thought was pretty darn good was Dennis Shruder. Dennis Shruder, he was supposed to be on this team, believe it or not, but he just kept getting traded and somehow landed on the Detroit Pistons. But he was a very good defender, very pesky defender, and you probably guys can't see it, so we're just going to look at his numbers through here. But 10.8 points a game, 37% from the field, which isn't great, 30%, from the three-point line, which also isn't great. 2.6 rebounds and 5.2 assists. But in the postseason, he did play a little bit better. He had a 20-point game against the Knicks. He had an 18-point game, a 6, a 14. So definitely was, closing down the stretch. And with Jaden Ivey returning, I don't really see them bringing back Dennis Shruder, to be honest with you. So I would love to have Dennis Shruder on this team. Dennis Shruder, Davion Mitchell with the starter, Shruder coming off the bench. I think that would be pretty good. And then also all these guards that I have brought up so far are going to get Bam involved. They're going to give him a lot more touches. They're going to feed him a little bit more. They're going to make his life easier. Even for Tyler Hero, they're going to make his life easier. So I think that's the more positive thing about it, because we got to help our franchise guys out by adding some free agency additions. Some are in player options, some are free agents, and stuff like that. So definitely like that. And man, my allergies have been they've been hurting me for sure. And then another one who I really love is Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball to me would be a perfect fit when he's healthy. This year, average about 7 points a game. Mind you, hasn't played in a couple of years. 7 points a game, 36% from the field, 34% from the three-point line, 3.4 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 1.3 steals. But they still rewarded him with a contract. That just tells you they have a lot of trust in Lonzo Ball, and there's a lot of good with Lonzo Ball still. And the thing that just came out now is that they're willing to trade him, right? They're willing to trade him. I think Lonzo Ball is a very good defender. I think he has improved his three-point shot throughout his career. Like, I remember a point in time where it was terrible. So just seeing the improvements of Lonzo Ball, I love it. I will show his contract on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Bring it right here. So this is Lonzo Ball's contract. As you see, Lonzo Ball is making about exactly $10 million, which is not too bad, I don't think. 2-year, $20 million. So you have him kind of on like a 2-year deal, kind of expiring too after this season. So I wouldn't mind bringing in a player like Lonzo Ball. I think that would be a very good addition. And then lastly, who I have, which might be my favorite addition, I think everybody else would agree too, is Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton, I want him to be part of the big Lauri marketing trade, but if not, I think we should trade for him solo. In 63 games played, 28 minutes of action, 18 points a game, 48% from the field, 40% from the three-point line, 2.7 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and 0.7 steals. I mean, those are very good numbers. Very good numbers. Almost shooting 50% from the field, shooting 40% from the three-point line, which is always a good clip. But one thing about Colin Sexton is that he fits the Heat culture. You're having two pit bulls and Davion Mitchell and Colin Sexton on your team. Also, Sexton's probably a little bit better of a scorer than Davion Mitchell. You could put Sexton coming off the bench. He could play that 6-man role. We don't have to give up any, first-round picks for Sexton or anything like that, I don't believe. So I think these 5 point guards would be very good for us. And also, like I said, it's realistic. So we're not going to be talking about like the star guys. Like, we're talking about realistic options that the Miami Heat can go out and sign in free agency or do a trade, like for Lonzo Ball or possibly Colin Sexton. And then when we do look at Colin Sexton's contracts, which I'm going to pop it on the screen right now, his contract, it is going to be hefty because he's probably one of the better players, but that's fine. So he's making about 18.3 and then $19 million. So you have him for the next couple of years. He's only 26. He's only 27 when his contract finishes. So let me know in the comment sections, what do you guys think? Continue to keep liking, sharing, subscribing. Tomorrow, we are going to be coming with realistic shooting guards I think the Miami Heat should go after. It's going to get tougher because, like I said, free agency is not the best. Free agency doesn't really exist anymore. So it's probably going to have to be a lot more with trades. But I'm going to figure it out. Love y'all, and I'm out. Peace.